This is the Shanice Lewis Show, the #1 podcast for plus-size women. With your host, the queen of curvy conversation, Shanice Lewis.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Shanice Lewis. Today is Thursday, November 12th, 2020. Make sure you're following this show's social media pages on Facebook at The Shanice Lewis Show and on Instagram and Twitter at Shanice Show. And make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or now on Amazon Music. Subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and never miss a show. Today we have a very special guest. Micki Krimmel is the founder and CEO of Superfit Hero. She founded Superfit Hero in 2015, inspired by her experience playing roller derby. Through sport, she found a deep, non-judgemental connection to her body that created space for a new sense of self-possession and confidence. It was transformative experience, and she dove headfirst into the body positivity movement. The more she learned about health at every size and diet culture, the angrier she became about traditional fitness marketing. She created Superfit Hero to exist as an alternative, a fitness brand that celebrates bodies as they are, not as they should be. Superfit Hero is continuously evolving as a brand and learning how to best serve the community. Superfit Hero has become one of the most trusted and highly reviewed brands in activewear and has been featured in Buzzfeed, NBC, Self, Refinery 29, Shape, Forbes, and many other publications. Micki's goal is to establish Superfit Hero as the go-to and most trusted brand for the plus-size activewear. And this is a big week for the brand because they just dropped a new collection we're going to learn all about today. Let's welcome Micki to the show. Hi.
Hi, Shanice. Thanks so much. That was a very thorough intro. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you. I know this is a big week for you and the brand, but before we get into that, we want to learn a little bit about you, if that's okay.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about your background prior to getting into the fashion industry.
Yeah, it's so funny. If you told me 10 years ago I'd be running a fashion company, I would not have believed you. I do not come from a fashion background at all. I come from entertainment and tech startups. So I've been, working in startups for 20 years now. And this is actually my third company that I've started. But it's really mostly like technology, websites, community building is the angle I came at this from. I think like most women just sort of had a really rocky relationship with my body my entire life, just constantly fighting it and trying to make it smaller and, just battling my own self throughout my entire existence until I started playing roller derby. And I through sport learned to kind of have a relationship with my body that was more grounded and less about appearance. And I realized that, if more women could have an experience like that, if more women were able to connect to their bodies in a way that's not about aesthetics, that's not about, pleasing a broader culture, then we could just be more confident overall and get a lot more things done, frankly.
Now, what specifically about roller derby changed your life?
Well, the community it's the community and the sport aspect. So, I tried every diet. I was constantly trying to lose weight my entire life until I started playing roller derby. And then, it's like fitness and movement become more about trying to be better at a sport as opposed to look a certain way. And you just kind of forget the aesthetic ideals, and now it becomes a wholly new endeavor. And through sport, I became really, really connected to my body on a just really deep level. But then also just the community itself. I mean, roller derby is a super body positive, very welcoming, queer friendly, super diverse community. And just being around that just really gave me a sense of confidence and to just kind of be who I am, to show up in my body however it is on a day-to-day basis. And I was really inspired by that community and the culture. And it really drove like what Superfit Hero is all about.
Now, when you were doing roller derby, did you have a hard time finding activewear that fit you and that you like? Is that what gave you the aha moment to go in this direction?
It definitely did, but I think it was more about, so I knew the story I wanted to tell with the brand before I knew we were going to sell activewear. Like, I got really into this idea of the intersection of fitness and feminism, like how being able to move our bodies in a non-judgmental space can build confidence and empowerment in women and other people too. And that was really the story I wanted to tell. I wanted to create a business that would help sort of redefine what fitness looks like and the purpose of movement. And so I did some research. I examined a whole bunch of different businesses. I thought about opening a body positive gym. I even looked at events, like the obstacle course races, that kind of thing. I looked at a bunch of different models and landed on activewear because it was just so painfully obvious that there was a huge, huge hole in the market, just a huge market that was not being served by real performance clothing, and that's plus size athletes. Like they're just, especially in 2015, the options were super, super limited. And being in LA, again, I have no fashion background, but there's a huge fashion community here of really talented people that have, been in the industry for decades. And so I thought that I could build a team here and make a go of it. So I tried it with a Kickstarter. That's how we launched initially, really focused on the roller derby community because that's who I knew and who I had access to. And so that proved to me that there was a demand for these products and that people were craving this type of message from a fitness brand. And now, I mean, we're much bigger than just roller derby, but we stayed in that community pretty much for the first 2 years.
And so you mentioned you started a Kickstarter to fund your business. Was that easy or was it a struggle?
Oh man, it is not easy. I think people think, you build a Kickstarter and they will come, and that is not the case. It's a lot of work. I prepared for 4 months for the Kickstarter, not even including the product testing that was going on simultaneously. It was like there's a lot of work. But there's also a lot of resources. I mean, there's podcasts and blogs and websites all about how to run a successful Kickstarter, and so I did a lot of that research. And the reason why I think it worked for me, though, is definitely because of the roller derby community. Like, Kickstarter works really well if you have a community built in. I was on the top 4 team in the world at the time, and so I had a pretty wide reach within that niche community. And it's such a supportive, amazing community that I had a hunch that they would support my Kickstarter, and they came through in a big way. Yeah.
Did you ever consider getting investors to invest in your brand?
So I come from tech, like I said, and everyone I come from this sort of VC world. And that was one of the things I knew I didn't want to do when building this business, actually, because I've sort of seen what that looks like, and it's just not a good fit for me. So when I was sort of deciding what business to start, that was one of the things I knew. It was like, okay, I want to own it. I want to control it. I want to make sure it's, community driven as opposed to investor driven. And so that was a decision I made at the outset, which is why I went the Kickstarter route.
So how did you even come up with the name Superfit Hero?
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking a lot at the time about how we idolize sports figures, you know, and Nike was a big inspiration for me just with respect to like how to elevate athletes and how to, you know, basically turn them into superheroes. And that's kind of what set me down that path. Is like, you know, we have these idolized visions of what athletes look like, and they become superheroes in our culture. And I wanted to just kind of make the statement that like anyone can be a superhero and anyone can be an athlete. So that's sort of the genesis of the name. And now it's taken on a new meaning, because the thing that we've become really famous for is the fit of our clothing, because we do like really extensive testing with fit models across our entire size range. Like most brands will fit on a size 4 and then grade up and down from there. They'll just, you know, add 2 inches and then that's the next size. We haven't done it that way. We fit models of every size. So like we have size large fit models and we have size 7X fit models. And so we're really famous for the fit. That's the unique thing that we offer specifically for plus size athletes. And so now like Superfit has taken on this new meaning where it's really about the technology, the fit that we provide to our customers.
Now, for those listening who may not be familiar with your brand, tell us what type of clothing you carry.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're all about activewear. So it's really just about movement. And, like, I really think that movement is one of the best keys toward feeling at home and connected to your body. And that feeling of connection, it sort of sets the groundwork for confidence throughout the rest of your life. And so movement is really, really key to our mission. And so right now we're just really focused on like high quality performance activewear. You know, once you put it on, you forget you're even wearing it. So when you're doing your yoga practice or you're on your run, you're not like constantly pulling up the waistband or dealing with the leggings crawling down. And so the fit is really, really important to us.
And this week you made a big announcement that you were extending your size range, because at first you weren't going all the way up to a 7X, correct?
Yeah, this is brand new. We just launched on Monday and opened for pre-order on Tuesday. So, yeah, you're the first person I've spoken to about it.
All right.
It's blowing up. The response has been amazing. It's very, very heartening. Yeah. Before this week, our size range was extra small to 5XL. And with our new collection and moving forward, we're focusing on the plus athlete exclusively. And so we are now large through 7X, which for us is a size 12 through 42. This shift has been a long time coming. We've been working on it since the end of last year, really, but we kind of got screwed with COVID. Our factory shut down. We had 2 collections planned that we weren't able to release. It was a struggle just to stay alive, frankly. But we fixed those problems, and now we're moving forward, and it's very, very, very exciting. I did at the end of last year, I was looking at the data, doing my sort of end of the year, how did we do? And it became really, really clear to me, we sell lots of smalls and mediums, but our best customers, the ones that are coming back again and again and again, are the plus size customers. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense. I mean, our fit is designed for them. They don't have 5,000 other options. So I was like, okay, how can we serve this community better? Like, we're clearly doing a good job. Let's do it better. And so I did probably like 40 customer interviews. And I just asked folks like, okay, what are your biggest problems buying activewear? What are your biggest challenges? And when you put the question that way, the responses you get from folks who can shop anywhere are like, they're really product focused. Like, we like the pockets, we like the fit. Okay, that's great. But then the responses you get from, the 2X, the 3X, the 4X, and the 5X, they're telling me about the trauma they've experienced shopping with other brands and how, nothing ever fits right. They can't trust size charts. There's no models that look like me on the website. And I'm just like, okay, this is a real problem. And we are set up to solve it. And so that's why we're making this shift. Could we keep making extra smalls through mediums? Yes, of course we could. But I feel like as a team, like if we focus all of our energies and all of our resources on solving the unique needs of the plus consumer, then we can do a better job at that. And I think that's the thing that we can do better than other brands. So that's what we're going to do.
Now, I noticed on your website that the price didn't go up for the larger sizes. Now, that is excellent.
Yeah, it's funny. I keep hearing that brands do that, and I can't even. It wouldn't even cross my mind. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. We don't even track our costs that way. Like, we know how much it costs per unit to make an item, but we don't. Yeah, obviously you're using more fabric on larger sizes, but you just even out the cost across the collection. It's madness to me that that's even a thing, frankly.
Yeah, we've always heard that brand says it's more money to manufacture the larger clothes because it's more material. So they're just lying?
No, it is more material. The material is for us especially, the material is a big part of the cost because we use really high quality fabrics. And so for us, some of our pieces will be over $20 just for the fabric. And so that's true. It's absolutely true. But is that a reason to charge more for larger folks? Of course not. You have to find a way to spread the cost out across all your sizes. To me, it's obvious. Yeah, it's interesting though. We do get feedback about our pricing because $90 for a pair of leggings for a lot of people is that's a premium price, right? For sure. And we though, we're a slow fashion, right? Like, we're making everything locally in LA. The minimum wages here are a lot higher. And we work with a factory that they're just amazing. Everything's super clean. It's all like the workers are all happy. We have a really great arrangement now with our new spot since our old one closed down. And it's expensive. It's expensive to make local fashion with like people who are paid fair wages and really premium materials. But I'm committed to keeping our quality high. And so, we're definitely a premium brand, and you get what you pay for, and it's going to last, it's going to fit. It's been an interesting. There's a little bit of education because, the premium brands have been excluding, especially the super plus folks, forever, right?
Right.
So, I'm really, really committed to making it available, but there is a little bit of education that has to happen around that. Yeah.
And you really do get what you pay for because the stuff made in China runs 2 sizes too small and is cheaply made.
It's true. Yeah. It's hard to find manufacturers that have the experience. For first of all, for activewear, because it's a wholly different process than like T-shirts, and LA has lots of T-shirt manufacturers. It's a lot harder to find the activewear ones. But then, yeah, we've had to find folks that understand how to fit on plus size bodies, and that hasn't been easy either. It's taken us a few years to get it right, but man, our fit it's great. It's really something special.
Now, this week when you launched the new collection, you also released a photo shoot using models of all sizes. Now, has the response been all positive?
You get the occasional troll, but for the most part, it's been overwhelmingly positive. We can't even keep up. So we've always used models of all every size that we have models for. A lot of brands, even plus brands will have like a size 12 model for all of the styles, and then you're left to just guess what it looks like on your body. And we don't do that. We have models across our entire size range. And now that we've expanded our size range, we still have models across our entire size range. And so, we have bodies that folks haven't seen celebrated by fashion brands now, front and center marketing our products. We also worked with Superfat and InfiniFat influencers to test our products. So they were the fit models through the process, and now they're also helping us promote the launch. And that's been, the response to that has just been amazing, because these are folks that are trusted in the community. And so that's been really, really fun. And it's been great to be able to, like, you know, pay those people for their work and invite them into the process. And, you know, we're sort of using that as a template moving forward, so that all of our products will be designed like with folks in the community. We're not just creating products that we think you want. And I'm really excited about that model. And it's also just really fun, frankly.
Now, what would you say to a critic that says women of the bigger size don't work out?
I mean, it's patently untrue. You know, anyone who's ever run a marathon, you just look around. You know, anyone who it's just absolutely false. It's absolutely false. You know, everybody has everyone should be afforded the opportunity to work out if they want to, right? I'm not making judgments. I don't think you have to be an athlete. We have folks that wear stuff that are like, you know, competing in weightlifting competitions. We have folks that really like to do yoga. And we also just have people that, you know, find our products to be really comfortable. And, like, that's fine, too. You know, this is the beauty of athleisure, is, like, you can wear it to the gym, you can wear it to the supermarket, or you can wear it on your couch during COVID, because that's what most of us are doing, frankly.
You're right.
But, yeah, it's just patently untrue. And all you have to do is look around to see that it's not the case.
Now, tell me about the Body Positive Fitness Finder. Was that launched this week, too, or you already had that in place?
No, we've had that for a while. When we, for a few years, actually, I think we started that. We started out trying to figure out what is our influencer strategy. How are we going to connect with people on Instagram? You know, and I thought right away about you know, trainers and coaches and yoga teachers who are body positive, because you're starting to see there's like quite an upswing of folks that are trying to do this now. And so I was okay. We'll send product to those folks or give them a discount code, and then they can promote us. And we started getting more and more and more of these people. And then at one point I realized, I'm like, okay, we have, you know, hundreds of body positive trainers and coaches that we have relationships with, and we have thousands of customers buying our products. They probably would like to meet each other. And so we build it on the website. It gives us a way to, you know, sort of promote our products to a broader community, but also just a service that we can provide to our customers that are looking for a safe space to move their body. And it's been great. We don't charge anything for it. It's totally a free resource. It's just, you know, again, that's kind of the change I wanted to make in the industry back when I started the business. And so it's our way of just kind of encouraging this shift that is already happening.
And so what do you think has been the biggest accomplishment of your brand? Wow.
I mean, I think it's so funny when you're in the day-to-day of it and you're just doing the work, it can be really easy to forget how important it is to people. But the emails that we get from, like, people are just sobbing, like, about seeing bodies like theirs on an activewear website. It's like such a little thing, and it's such an obvious thing, but it's really transformative. And now we're starting to have conversations like this one where, you know, journalists are reaching out and asking us, how can fashion do better? And so I really think, like, I mean, it's those individual moments are the ones I'm most proud of, just having that kind of emotional connection with someone, whether they buy from us or not, like, that is what keeps me going every day. But then moving forward, these broader conversations about fashion and fitness as an industry and where they're going, like, you know, being at the forefront of that conversation is just so huge. It's such a big deal, and not something I take lightly at all.
Well, that's awesome. So usually I end the interviews asking what's coming up, but due to Corona, I know that is challenging. But I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you have anything coming up or anything that we can be on the lookout for?
It is challenging. I mean, even this release we ended up doing as a pre-order because we don't actually have the product in hand yet. It's being sewn in Los Angeles right now. But we're already working on our next collection. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's awesome. And we're also so the fabric we have now is a super hold. It's like a really compressive, supportive fabric. And we're working on doing a lot of styles. We're working on like a softer, less compressive, little bit easier going fabric that we'll launch next year. So that I can tell you. That'll be really nice.
And tell us your official websites and social media pages.
Yeah, so we're Superfit Hero everywhere. So superfithero.com and Superfit Hero on all of the social media channels.
And your clothing is sold exclusively on the website?
Yep. Direct sales only online. That way, we really pride ourselves on the customer support side. You know, we do free returns, free exchanges, anything it takes to get you in the right fit. And so we can't really outsource that part. So everything is direct online at superfithero.com.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. It has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I learned a lot about your brand, and any way I can help your movement, just let me know.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll have to send you something when we get the product in hand.
Yes, I would love that. Well, keep in touch, and thank you again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. We will keep in touch. Have a good day.
Thanks, Shanice. Bye-bye.
And thank you to my guest this evening. Make sure you check out Superfit Hero. They're doing amazing things, not only in fashion, but in body positivity. I've been your host, Shanice Lewis. Thank you for tuning in and supporting. Until next time, keep thriving in your curves and be blessed.
You've been listening to The Shanice Lewis Show. For more info about the show, visit ShaniceLewisShow.com.